Good evening. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Ryan Fish. We are coming to you live from the east side near Kolb and 22nd, and it's easy to see why. We've seen trees toppled really across Tucson, but nothing quite like this, nothing this big, literally uprooted from the ground.
Aguantar hambre, frío.
Many, like Uriel Verdugo, tell me it's already been a long journey. He's traveling alone.
¿De dónde eres?
De Chiapas.
He says he left his home in southern Mexico about a month ago to escape the cartel, arriving here 4 days ago.
Jim and Sue Chilton's ranch runs along the U.S.-Mexico border for about 5.5 miles. Most of it is next to this border wall until suddenly the wall stops. It becomes this 3-foot fence here. This is where the Chiltons say most people end up crossing over into the U.S. In fact, there are water jugs just on the other side, ready for the journey.
Right now, the basket is coming down in order to rescue our person in distress here.
It's no secret that there's a truck driver shortage right now, but here in Tucson, Pima Community College is not looking in the rearview mirror, it's looking ahead to a possible solution.
This started as an idea during the COVID lockdowns 3 years ago, and now it's a reality. The Mount Lemon Lodge opening this week, and already plenty of people have been in here to check it out and to check in.
The lights have been out on the Winter Haven Festival of Lights in Tucson for 2 years now, but this weekend, the neighborhood is lit up again, and that means the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona is getting a big boost. This is Pantano and Escalante. It's one of several intersections around Tucson that's often been taken over by sideshows where cars rev their engines and spin around. In fact, you can see the skid marks covering the entire intersection. One potential solution being discussed right now, using a third-party vendor to live stream teachers into the classroom. I'm about 10 miles east of Sassabee, and this is where dozens and dozens of people are waiting to be processed by Border Patrol.
Sometimes when it's an easy day, it's like 200 people, but most of the day are 500 and over.
No, take the whole thing.
Here, volunteers from aid groups are handing out water, granola bars, oranges, and eggs. Dora Rodriguez says not only are they seeing more migrants here, they're now more often families and children, and coming from new places.
I've been doing this for years, and I have not seen people from these countries in our area.
In this group, people say they're from African countries like Sudan and Chad. These two men are from Syria. They tell me in Spanish they came through Central America by bus and on foot, fleeing a war and bad economy in their country, seeking a better life in the U.S., headed for family in Florida and New Hampshire. Rodriguez believes the Lukeville Port of Entry closure is forcing smugglers to push more people into this area. But on this trip along the border wall, I didn't see Border Patrol, leaving migrants to wait or walk along these steep hillsides to the processing center more than 10 miles away.
This is a humanitarian crisis, and we have to respond with the humanitarian piece that is missing.
Volunteers set up this camp with food and makeshift shelters less than a week ago, knowing many will have to stay in this area overnight. She's an icon on the U of A campus.
Stay safe, guys. Love you, love you.
I took a ride with likely the most famous Uber and Lyft driver in Tucson, Nicole Ochotorena.
Yeah, that's my legal name. But that's not my name everybody knows me as.
She goes by Mama Bear, a nickname she says she earned after her first ever Uber ride 6 years ago.
I picked her up from a frat party. She was highly intoxicated. I carried her to her bed. I had taken care of her for 4.5 hours.
Everybody knows Mama Bear on campus. She protects everybody. She's loved by everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do. When you get in her car, she will make you feel safe and loved.
Her car as recognizable as her name.
This is Brooke. She still goes here.
The ceiling filled with pictures, mementos, and dollar bills signed by students.
Yeah, I have everything.
In the trunk, a first aid kit, blankets, and water, whatever a passenger might need.
These kids have me wrapped around their fingers. I do this 12 hours a day, every day.
That's led to more than 25,000 rides. She knows what can happen if someone doesn't have a safe way to get home.
My brother was hit by a drunk driver on Oracle and McGee when he was 9. So that's why I do this, and that's why I firmly believe in this, like without a doubt. I don't want to see them ever get hurt behind the wheel because they're drinking and driving.
But Mama Bear is not just a maternal figure behind the wheel. She even hosts and cooks for some students during holiday breaks.
Like, I don't feel any different from these kids than my own kids. And my kids are pretty much jealous of these kids.
What do these kids mean to you?
Love. Love. They mean love.
There are Sonoran dog carts like this one all over Tucson. They're usually on dirt or gravel or parked in the middle of a parking lot. But this one in my neighborhood here in Midtown is one of my favorites because while the setting may be simple, the food is anything but.
Produce from Nogales, tomato, onion, everything. The bun is fresh. Everything we do fresh.
Beto Maciel calls them Sinaloense dogs, named after his friend from the Mexican state of Sinaloa, who 15 years ago inspired Beto to move from Michoacan, Mexico to Tucson. Since then, he's owned this cart in Midtown near Pima and Alvernon.
So this was your first job,
Yeah,
and you never left?
never work another job only here. We use the same bun all the 15 years and the same hot dog and bacon, everything the same.
They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. El Sinaloense has become a neighborhood favorite.
It makes it easy for us to stop in for a quick hot dog and chow down and get back to work.
Beto says about half of his customers order in English, el otro en español.
As my father originally brought us here the first time, oh, he loved this place. And we've been to a lot of the hot dog stands around Tucson, and I think out of all of them, they have the best hot dogs right here.
Beto also caters a handful of local parties and events every week, and sometimes for the staff at Tucson's schools and hospitals. Through it all, he's dealt with unpredictable weather and predictably long hours.
A lot of rain, shine, wind is a lot of very hard sometimes, but I appreciate all my customers and neighborhood.
In turn, the neighborhood has made this seemingly nomadic stand a permanent fixture.
I hope this place stays open forever.
In Midtown near Pima and Alvernon, Ryan Fish, KGUN 9.